Hello everyone. I am going to run us through the HBSE 2 syllabus right now. Ideally this would be done in person so I could answer any questions you might have about things. But given kind of the restrictions that are being requested by COVID, I'm going to have to do this virtually. So I'm going to strongly encourage you, if you have any questions, to let me know sooner rather than later. By the time we meet in person, you will have had a couple assignments due already. And so if something just doesn't make sense, do not wait till we are in person to ask. I'm really going to encourage you to reach out. Just so there's no confusion, you can start the semester out on a good foot. So our syllabus can be accessed on our course page under syllabus. Funny how that works. So as you can see, we are Social Work 228, Human Behavior in the Social Environment 2. It is a Monday-Thursday class. It's a high flex model, so we will only be in seat ideally one time a week, and that will be Monday classes. As we scroll down further through the syllabus, you will see it's outlined pretty clearly on our course schedule which days are in seat and which days are online. When we are in session in seat, we will be meeting in room 212 with all the social distancing guidelines still in place. Here is my contact information. I am doing very little work from the office, so I strongly encourage you not to call that number. If you need anything, the best way to get a hold of me is through my email. This is my personal cell. I'm totally fine with students texting me as long as it's before 8 p.m. And I do not save student numbers, so if you text me, please identify yourself. If you text me again, you'll have to identify yourself again because I don't save student numbers in my phone. If you want to meet for whatever reason, because I'm working primarily from home right now, we'll just have to figure out a Google Meet time. If you want to meet in person, that's cool too. We just have to figure out a time to meet on campus. So I don't have specific hours. It kind of just ebbs and flows based on student need. All right, so now we have our course description. I'm not going to read this verbatim. Essentially, if you want a summary of what this course is about, it is taking all of those dimensions you learned in Human Behavior 1, all the dimensions of person, environment over time, and we start to apply them to the different stages of life. So everywhere from conception and everything related to the pre-birth all the way to the end stage, which is considered death. So we look at how each of the dimensions are impacted, how that influences our future clients' behaviors, and how to kind of tailor our services to meet those needs specifically in each life stage. So that's just on the screen. That's a very fancy way of saying what I just said. Here is the textbook you will need. It is the part 2 to the textbook you used in Human Behavior 1. So this is a different book. It is the Changing Life course. It is not the Dimensions of Human, or it's not the one that you used, the Person, Environment Over Time. First semester, it is a new one. It is a new one. There should be a copy in the library if you do not want to purchase your own copy. We also use the Timberlake, I'm blanking, General Method book that you used from intro. So we do reference that. It's a good resource to use for papers. It's not a required textbook, but it's a good supplemental text. The class covenant is just talking about how when we're in the classroom, myself as an instructor, I want to model Christ-like behavior, showing each person value and respect. As a child of God, I will come to class prepared, on time, grade assignments on time, have timely communication. I really value that this is your education, and I want to be able to not contribute to the stress that may come with the class, and that it is a safe environment, that you feel supported, and that you're able to navigate it well without having to worry about interactions with an instructor. And then I ask the same of you. General academic information. If you want to drop this class, which I hope none of you do, the last day to do that without penalties, so not taking a W, I believe you don't have to pay for it as well, would be Monday, January 25th. That's 3 weeks into the semester. The last day to withdraw from classes is Monday, February 15th. At that point, we're almost done with the session A. So if you're at that point, and you're wanting to withdraw, make sure you're having conversations with me. Hopefully we can still salvage something, but that's the last day to withdraw with a W versus an F. If you have any questions about that, hopefully we won't get to that point, but I'm here to chat about any of that. These are our student learning outcomes and course objectives. I'm not going to go through these just for the sake of time, but they are posted on Sakai in case you are curious to know the specific objectives. If you look at this point is the course objectives. These are the specific ones that we're meeting for our social work education accreditation requirements. So we're actually going to talk about that this week, a little bit about the CSWE, which is the Council on Social Work Education. They accredit us, and so we have a lot of things that we have to make sure that we're meeting and hitting. And so this part is just talking about how this class helps us stay accredited. All right, course schedule. So this is going to show you, first of all, what dates are in seat and which dates are online classes. I will try to keep this up to date as much as possible. So as you can see, the first 4 classes, which are the first 2 weeks, are all going to be online. This was not the original plan. I wanted to be able to meet on the Mondays, but given the suggestions that the college is having from the CDC about student activity on campus, we are going to err on the side of caution and just hold online classes for the first 2 weeks. So this is why I'm recording this versus talking about it in person. So this will walk you through what week it is, the specific date. If it's highlighted in purple, that means it's an online class and you do not have to physically show up. If it's highlighted in yellow, like you can see on the 25th, then you have to show up for class. Class is at 10 o'clock. The topic shows what we'll be discussing and kind of what the focus will be for that specific class. The different types of activities you can expect during the class time, and if there's any assignments that are due on that specific date. And then the final column shows upcoming assignments. So you can see already after our first session online, you will have a chapter 2 review due by the 14th. So that's a pretty quick turnaround. That's one of the, I think, maybe the wonders and joys of having this high flex or rapid 7 to 8 week course schedule. Due dates come up pretty quickly. So I'm going to encourage you to stay on top of everything and stay as organized as possible. So this column on the end will always kind of give you a heads up on what's coming. This is going to tell you kind of, you can see how I formatted it underneath the line about what is due that day. Unless otherwise noted, anytime there is an assignment due, it is due by the start of class. So when I upload them into Sakai, it will lock right at 10 o'clock on the given date that it's due. So if you're trying to submit it after that, I do still, for the most part, accept late stuff if it happens once in a while, but you will have to do the email of shame and let me know that you were not able to turn it in by the due date and then email it to me. So just a heads up on that. Please remember that when assignments are due, like this chapter review, it is due at the start of class that it's due for, so 10 o'clock. All right, so you can kind of go through there. It's pretty straightforward. I hope if this is confusing, please let me know. There are no breaks like winter break or spring break or Easter break. I don't even know what kind of breaks we got. There's no breaks that impact our classes this week or this session. So you will have a class Monday, Thursday for the next 7 weeks. Making me scroll all the way through. If for some reason things have to change and these will turn purple instead of yellow, I will make sure to update it on there as well as communicate it to you. So this should stay pretty up to date. All right, so that is that. Next section, I'm going to put into a second video specifically about assignments and requirements because I want to make sure I have enough time and that my video recording does not time out on me. So I'm going to do a separate video on assignments and kind of the course requirements. That way you can, if you have questions about it, you can always directly access that video versus having to watch this wonderful video all over again. Attendance and policy, I'm going to quick just touch on that one. That, obviously, since we're not coming in person, the traditional way of taking attendance is going to look a little different. I'm not going to be able to say, oh, you're in your seat, you're here, because you're going to be responsible for doing this work at home, and it might not specifically be on Monday, Thursday at 10 o'clock. So essentially how I take attendance is basically if you're completing your online assignments. When I go over the the assignments, you can see that attendance and participation is 25% of your grade. So if you're not engaging in forums or turning in your or engaging with the online material, that's considered an absence and it will hurt your grade. So it does take a little bit of motivation and personal responsibility, but this is a good life skill to take into your profession. So as much as I don't particularly like online classes and I like being able to engage in person, it is teaching you a different skill set, which I guess is one positive amidst it all. This is the standard grading scale. The workload kind of breakdown, late work. Like I said, the assignments, unless otherwise noted, close at 10 o'clock on the scheduled day. If for some reason something happens and comes up, please talk to me. I'm more about getting the work in versus focusing so much on due dates. I'm going to have to be a little bit more strict on that this semester, only because if you miss an assignment by a couple of days, you're going to just dig yourself in a hole real quickly because the semester is going to fly, or session is going to fly by. But I am open to thinking about alternative due dates or thinking outside of the box on things. However, that has to be communicated 2 or 3 days before an assignment's due. If all of a sudden you're emailing me at 3 a.m. the day before it's due, I am not checking my emails at 3 in the morning. And that tells me that it isn't necessarily related to something going on in life. It's more possible poor planning and time management, and that's something I want to encourage you to take ownership of this semester. So just communication is key with me. I just need to know what's going on, and I'm more than happy to work with you. Then returned assignment goals. The goal is to turn around assignments within 2 or 3 days. I am human. I also have 5 children, so sometimes that's not perfect, but I do want to respect that you guys want your stuff back, and if there's something that needs to be adjusted or modified, you need to know that so you don't continue to do something incorrectly as the semester goes on. So that is the syllabus in a nutshell. Again, it is posted on Sakai. I am not going to hand out a paper copy this year only because I'm not going to see you until week 3, and you'll be able to access it here. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am also I'm available via email and text prior to the start of the class if you happen to watch this before class starts. Otherwise, just stay in communication with me, and I will hopefully be able to answer any questions you might have.